True leadership has little to do with titles, positions, or how loudly one speaks. It is not granted by external authority, but earned through influence, clarity, and conviction. A real leader does not demand followers. They attract them, and the magnet is always the same: vision, belief, and the power to inspire hope in others when circumstances offer none. Napoleon Bonaparte once said, "A leader is a dealer in hope, though a man of war. His words speak more to the battlefield of the human spirit than any conflict of nations." A leader's greatest tool is not strategy or command. It is the ability to make others believe that something better is possible, even in the darkest hour. Napoleon Hill, decades later, echoed this same truth in a different form. In Think and Grow Rich, he described definiteness of purpose as the starting point of all achievement. Without it, Hill argued, nothing meaningful can be accomplished. But purpose alone is not enough. It must be infused with faith, an unwavering belief in one's ability to carry it through. This belief, this certainty, is a foundation from which hope is built and shared. When a leader possesses a clear purpose and the inner faith to pursue it, they radiate a sense of possibility that others can feel. People don't follow leaders simply because of orders. They follow them because they represent hope, the hope of progress, of overcoming, of becoming something greater. Leadership begins in the imagination. It begins when someone dares to see what others cannot and chooses to believe in it so deeply that others begin to see it too. That vision, held with faith and shared with conviction, becomes a spark that ignites action, and hope is the flame that keeps it alive. Hope is not just a feeling. It is a psychological force, a deep internal drive that keeps people moving forward even when everything around them says to stop. It is what allows a person to take one more step, make one more call, write one more page, even when they've been told no 100 times. Hope is a quiet voice that whispers, "It's possible," when fear is shouting, "Give up." In its truest form, hope is not passive or naive. It is active, intentional, and rooted in belief. Napoleon Hill understood this deeply. In his study of the most successful people of his era, he found that every one of them clung to hope in the face of overwhelming adversity. They did not succeed because the path was easy. They succeeded because they refused to believe that failure was final. It's important to draw a clear line between hope and wishful thinking. Wishful thinking sits back and waits for something to change. It says, maybe things will get better, but does nothing to move in that direction. Hope, on the other hand, is partnered with action. It says, things can get better, and I will do something about it. Hope fuels determination, and determination becomes the engine behind all lasting achievement. Without hope, there is no reason to try. Without trying, there is no success. Consider Thomas Edison, whom Hill often referenced. Edison failed thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb. What kept him going was not just stubbornness. It was hope. Hope that he was close. Hope that it would work. Hope that the world could be better because of his idea. Or look at Henry Ford, who faced bankruptcy and ridicule multiple times before finally building his vision. Hope gave him the courage to continue. Even Hill himself faced crushing setbacks while developing Think and Grow Rich. He was broke, discouraged, and on the edge of giving up more than once. But he clung to the hope that his work would matter, that it would help others rise from struggle to success. And it did, because hope, when combined with purpose and persistence, becomes unstoppable. It is a fuel that drives the engine of achievement, even when the road ahead disappears into fog. Leaders move people not just through plans or instructions, but through belief. At the heart of effective leadership is the ability to make others believe in something greater, whether it's a vision, a mission, or simply themselves. That belief often starts with one thing: hope. Hope, when spoken by a leader with conviction, has the power to reach deep into people's hearts and change the way they see their own future. It's contagious. One person's belief can unlock belief in others who may have long since stopped believing in anything at all. Napoleon Hill emphasized this in his principle of autosuggestion, the practice of using repeated, emotionally charged words to influence the subconscious mind. He taught that our minds respond to repetition, especially when it comes with feeling. Leaders, knowingly or not, use the same principle every time they speak. Their words carry weight, not because of the words alone, but because of the energy, certainty, and emotion behind them. When a leader says, "We will get through this," or "This goal is within our reach," it isn't just encouragement. It's a seed of belief being planted in the minds of others. The right words, spoken at the right time, can redirect someone's entire outlook. They can pull someone from doubt back into motion. This is the ripple effect of leadership. Hope doesn't just stay with the leader. It moves outward. It affects attitudes, then behaviors, then outcomes. Think of the leaders who shaped history, not just through action, but through words that inspired movements. Martin Luther King Jr., Winston Churchill, even Hill himself. They ignited belief by daring to say that something better was possible and convincing others to believe it too. When a leader radiates hope, it gives others permission to rise. It restores energy. It creates forward motion where there was none. One person's hope can lift a team out of burnout or push a community through a crisis. That is the invisible, powerful tool leaders carry. Not everyone sees it, but everyone feels it. A hope-driven leader stands out not just because of what they say, but because of who they are. These leaders carry a set of internal traits that make them magnets for trust, belief, and action. One of the most powerful is visionary thinking, the ability to see beyond the present into a future that doesn't yet exist. Napoleon Hill emphasized definiteness of purpose as the first of his 17 principles of success. Without a clear vision, a leader has nothing to aim for and nothing to offer others. Hope is born from a vision that feels worth fighting for. A hope-driven leader sees that vision with clarity, talks about it constantly, and builds a bridge for others to walk toward it. But vision alone is not enough. A leader must also possess emotional intelligence, the ability to read the room, understand feelings, and stay centered in chaos. Hill spoke often of self-control, another key principle, which is a foundation of emotional intelligence. Leaders who remain composed and aware during challenges are able to guide others with strength and stability. They don't just react, they respond. Their calm presence becomes a shelter for others when fear rises. Hope lives in that calm. Resilience under pressure is another trait that defines hope-driven leadership. Hill's principle of persistence teaches us that success comes to those who keep going when others stop. A leader who models resilience shows people what it looks like to stand up after being knocked down. They become living proof that setbacks are temporary. Their endurance gives others permission to keep trying. They embody hope through action. And perhaps most importantly, these leaders lead with empathy and the ability to inspire. Hill's pleasing personality and enthusiasm principles show us that warmth and genuine connection are essential tools for influence. People follow those who make them feel seen and understood. A hope-driven leader listens more than they speak. They lift others with words that reach the soul. They light a fire not by shouting orders, but by whispering belief when someone has none left. Together, these traits don't just create effective leadership. They create transformation. They turn moments of doubt into movements of growth. A hope-driven leader doesn't just carry people forward. They awaken something in them they didn't know they had. Fear is the greatest enemy of success. Napoleon Hill made this crystal clear in his writings. He identified fear as one of the 6 basic enemies of mankind. Fear of poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. These fears, whether spoken or silent, grip people from the inside out and paralyze action. They cloud judgment, dull creativity, and break the spirit before a real challenge even shows up. Hill believed that mastering fear was not a suggestion. It was a requirement for success. Without confronting fear, no amount of knowledge or talent could carry a person forward. This is where hope becomes a weapon. Hope doesn't pretend fear doesn't exist. It just refuses to let fear lead. Hope reminds us that there is still something worth striving for. When a leader carries hope, they create space for courage. In those moments when doubt creeps in, when the future feels uncertain and the pressure builds, it's hope that helps people take the next step. It may not remove the fear completely, but it gives something stronger to hold on to. A leader who offers hope is doing more than encouraging. They are shifting the emotional state of those around them, lifting the fog of fear just enough to see the road again. History is full of leaders who mastered fear by clinging to hope. Henry Ford was told over and over again that his ideas were foolish. He faced failure, public criticism, and financial collapse. but his belief in what was possible, his hope, was louder than the fear. Thomas Edison was no stranger to failure either. Over 1,000 failed attempts didn't stop him because he believed success was just one more try away. Abraham Lincoln led during one of the darkest times in American history. He was plagued with self-doubt and personal loss, but he never let the nation lose hope. His words and presence helped carry people through chaos. The real strategy to lead through fear is not to pretend to have all the answers, but to remind people that they can move forward anyway. Hope is not the absence of fear. It is a belief that something greater is possible beyond it, and that belief changes everything. Hope isn't something that just appears when you need it. It's something you build intentionally and consistently. The most powerful leaders cultivate hope within themselves first, long before they share it with anyone else. Napoleon Hill taught that everything begins in the mind. If a person wants to lead with hope, they must first train their thoughts to align with belief, purpose, and direction. One of the most effective ways to do that is through daily rituals that reinforce self-belief. Affirmations, spoken with emotion and consistency, program the subconscious to expect success. Hill called this auto-suggestion, and it's not just theory. It's how belief is built, one thought at a time. Definiteness of purpose is another vital part of this inner work. When you know exactly what you're working toward, hope has something to attach itself to. It becomes real. It gains shape and urgency. Without clear purpose, even the most positive mindset can wander. Purpose provides the aim. Hope fuels the journey. Hope-driven leaders also surround themselves with the right people. Hill's concept of the mastermind group was based on the idea that being in harmony with others who share your values and vision multiplies your strength. These connections serve as mirrors, motivators, and safety nets when doubt creeps in. The daily habits of a hope dealer are grounded in alignment. They take small actions every day that match their long-term vision, even when no one is watching. They read, reflect, plan, and act with intention. They protect their mindset, guard their energy, and feed their imagination. They're not blindly optimistic. They are rooted in discipline. And through that, they grow a kind of hope that can't be shaken by setbacks. It's this kind of hope, grounded in purpose and practiced daily, that becomes leadership's most powerful asset. Hope is not just personal, it's cultural. It spreads through families, companies, and entire communities, often without anyone realizing it. When a leader consistently shows up with belief in a better outcome, that energy seeps into the environment. It becomes part of the atmosphere, something people begin to breathe in and reflect back. Over time, this creates a culture where people think bigger, try harder, and support each other more deeply. Hope makes people feel safe to dream, safe to try, and safe to fail and try again. The mindset of a leader determines the emotional ceiling of everyone they influence. If the leader is afraid, scattered, or cynical, that energy becomes a silent permission slip for everyone else to shrink. But when a leader operates with clarity and hope, especially in tough times, it sets a tone. It tells others, we are not defined by this moment. We are moving forward. That mindset unlocks potential people didn't know they had. It shows them how to stand tall in the storm. And the most powerful part? Hope outlives the leader. A person who leads with hope leaves behind more than results. They leave behind a shift in belief. Children grow up more confident. Teams take more initiative. Communities grow more connected. Long after the words are forgotten, the feeling remains. That's the legacy of a hope dealer. Their greatest achievement isn't just what they built. It's what they awaken in others. Hope lasts, because once it's planted, it finds a way to grow. Leadership is both a responsibility and a privilege. The power to shape how others see themselves and what they believe is possible. In a world full of fear and doubt, true leaders choose to become dealers in hope. They don't just manage, they inspire. They don't just direct, they believe. If you carry hope, you carry influence. So embody it, speak it, share it. Let your vision and belief light the way for others. As Napoleon Hill wrote, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Be the one who helps others believe, because that's where real leadership begins. If you found value in these insights inspired by Napoleon Hill, make sure to subscribe for more powerful lessons on mindset, wealth, and personal growth. We share timeless wisdom, practical strategies, and motivational content to help you unlock your full potential. Stay inspired, stay focused, master your mind,